All right, hey everybody, what's up? This is the Reluctant Nobby back again. Okay, and this is they just don't get it kind of moment. All right, we're talking about these Black American females and their lack of understanding and jealousy when it never really had to be that way. All right, so let's break some stuff down. But first, let me greet everybody. Hawarden Harduguda, Ola Oi to the Bang, Fasses Los, Bonjour, mes amis. Kedu, Bawani Konnichiwa, Ni Hao Ni Ama, Sani Bonani, Jumbo Habaragani, Assalamu alaikum and shalom. Man, this is a really joyous day for me out here in Brazil. And I was saving these two soccer balls for these ladies at the igreja, as they call it. But I think I may have given them to their children. So I'm headed back out to the favelas to get. I know where I'm gonna take them. But anyway, I know exactly where I'm gonna take them. But anyway, let's get into this video right here. All right, yeah. So basically, you see my title. The jealousy of these black women makes it difficult for them to understand the attraction of the Afro men to Latina women and vice versa. Okay, wait a minute. This also explains when any other less or non melanated women are attracted to the Afro men. Keep in mind, keep this in mind, that all these dudes that's picking up these women grew up in a house where their single mother was black. Yeah, their mamas was black. What's the takeaway from that? Think about that for a minute. All right, now I'm over on my other page and I see I got 8 people watching. So let me greet the people that's in the room. What's up, King Groove? What's up, NGA TV? All right. Now, so something came up in my suggestion, and the title that came up was like, I was like, oh my goodness, what's really going on? All right. And what is really going on is you got a bunch of black women looking for answers out of jealousy. All right. And these are the same black women that have squandered their relationships to the first man in their life. In other words, because most Afro men grew up with black women, this means that black women have always had first dibs to the Afro man in their life. First dibs. All right. And even in Brazil, this is something that I noticed. I'm gonna keep it real for you. This is something that I noticed. All right. What I noticed was this, that the reason why I in Brazil end up with the type of women that y'all see me end up with was because the level of affection and the openness to which you can come to them with. All right. Now, y'all have heard me explain it, and I keep saying this. If the black woman had remained feminine and receptive to good men instead of chasing the thugs and blaming the good men for everything that they did, they wouldn't have to have these kind of discussions. So let's look at the discussion, and y'all could probably go check her out. Don't mean to make her popular, but this is worth saying. And this further illustrates why we as Afro men should leave these women alone. And we're talking about the so-called black woman. All right. I never said they were ugly. All right. But they're not healthy for us. They are simply not healthy for us. First of all, we don't like anybody with a lot of makeup, black or white or Latina. First thing, my first complaint was about makeup here to a woman that didn't need it. I was like, I'm cool with the lipstick, protect your lips. All right. So this is her little thing here, as y'all can see. Now, at no point did you hear an Afro man say any woman was superior to black woman. As a matter of fact, the simps come out in droves and say, "Oh no, they God, the Mother Earth and stuff like that." But even the good Afro men that's just honestly looking for good women, they don't come out and put a superior tag to anything to a woman as if they're Latino superiority. But the culture is in fact superior to what the black woman is bringing to the table. I'll explain that in a minute, but let's look at the comments, right? This is what black women are saying. I think most races of women feel superior to black women because there's that narrative that the world gives. The world is not giving the narrative. All right. When you spit on the good population of men that everybody is craving, and they see that the only people that you want are worthless simps and people that cannot raise children, they look at any woman like that and see that something is wrong with them. Here's the situation. When you got the majority of men calling this BS out that the that's happening in the Afro community, the women always have a bevy of simps that are yes ma'am people. And they need to be like the Bundys and be no ma'am people. All right. So you got this. Black men love everybody but us. And they're right. There is no love. But they're not acknowledging who killed it. All right. And here's the thing, understand this. The guys that are with the Latinas, the guys that are with the Brazilians, the guys that are with the Caucasian women, all these other women from everywhere else except the Afro community are the very men that these same women we rejected and would not give the time of day. Hold on. Now, this woman goes on to say, this Taylor Brooks, they say things like it's a preference. My question is, why is your preference never your own race of women? Oh, the answer is this, because our own, so-called our own, we realize they're not our own, never preferred us. Remember, so now let me point this out to all these women. Serena Williams went and got a guy that's questionably on the racist side of the Caucasian yardstick, and then publicly said that the rest of the black women should do the same. This says to Afro men, the ones with money, the ones with resources, that no, these women have never been on our side. Remember, you had Crystal and Carolyn, never been on our side. For Harriet, never been on our side. All the magazines, every last one of them, that have black women writing in it never been on our side. So why would you expect us to show you love when we understand there's no love there? All right. And so you got this. The truth is, society doesn't value black women. And that's because the black women don't value themselves, their community, or the men. All right. Now she makes this statement. Maybe back in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, because we were the black man's only choice, but now they have options. All right. Now, she said, with interracial dating being more accepted, they don't want to choose us. And the reason why we don't want to choose them, because we never had options where the black woman was a consideration. Hold on. Let me explain this. We decided to, the black man has always had options in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. Come on, the 70s. The black man has always had options, always had options. But our first choice was what we knew. So what happens if what you know keep rejecting you all your life? And you start making some cheddar, some change. You can travel, you can go places, you can leave the community. And so what started to happen is the men that the women kept rejecting, which happened to be the men that was making the money, that wanted to raise children, the man that they was hitting up for child support but not relationship, while they was taking his child support money and sleeping with the thug, creating 5, 6, 7 more children. All right, those men, we got tired. And so the options that we always had, we just started to, open up to them. All right. They only sexualize dark skinned women on Instagram, from what I see, child, in order for us to be considered attractive. It's a trend right now to have black women features, but not be a black woman. Crazy. Imitation. Hold on. If they have the features, they're not imitating. Let me explain this. Imitation crab will always be imitation. You can't cook it at all. Hold on, let me explain something. And I wanted y'all to see this. We have the weakest, most disloyal race of men. Says the women that did this first, all throughout our history, all over. See, black women are dysfunctional and forget their own history. And they forget that the white men been dealing with them for throughout our history. It's just that the brothers, because of social media, just found out. So let's take the 70s, 80s, and 90s. What happened after the 90s? Social media started to, be a bump up. You could find a whole bunch of stuff on Google. You can actually look on Facebook and see what people are actually doing. And then people start popping up in the early 2000s. And then you had people, Crystal and Carrotson, sending out a message to black women. Then we started to see that, wait a minute, black women, all the way up until 2013, black women had always dated outside the Afro man. All right. Then wanted to come back and marry him. All right. The thug love, the thug culture, the bad boys, all of this, right? And so they don't get it. And so they're now jealous. I'm not so sure they're jealous of the other women. They're jealous that the Afro men now has options. I think that's the jealousy right here. All right. They're realizing some certain things, but not realizing others. The very thing that they don't realize is this, that they, the black woman, are the cause of their own demise. They did this to themselves. Period. They did it to themselves. Now they're angry because the Afro men are starting to exercise the options they always had. Let's be honest. The Afro men, the Afro men chose the Afro woman because even to this day, I mean, let's be honest, I still look first at an Afro woman when I look at what I think is beautiful. But then I'm not attracted to them is because when I usually see a woman that I think is beautiful, I would think, oh, she would be more beautiful if she didn't have all that makeup on, that fake eyelashes, that fake hair, trying to be a white woman. All right. The woman called the other women imitation crap. No, they're not. They're bringing to us their natural beauty. The DR, natural beauty. The Brazilian, natural beauty. The Brazilians are just built like that. Because yes, they have some Afro in them. And you can tell which ones do not. All right. So they're built like that. But here's the difference. Even here, when I got with a Brazilian, the first thing she told me was what she does not do. And all the things that she told me that she did not do involve affection towards a man. The same thing with the black woman in the United States. The things that they didn't do involve affection towards a good man. But when a thug wants them, they all down for any kind of abomination that they want to do with them. All right. And so basically, the dudes are tired. We ain't having it no more. We don't have to have it anymore. All right. We are now starting to exercise the choices we always had. Remember, these women, for all their lives, rejected good men. That's why they were open to the Latina women to begin with. Think about this. These women don't think logically. Had they been good to any good man, they would still be with a good man. We only started exercising our choices as the result of always being rejected for the thug by the black woman. All right. Period. All right. Latina women look for father type men, whether they see it in their own or others. The ones that get with the brothers, they see somebody that, regardless, that's going to raise their children because that's their culture. The brothers see that this used to be our culture. The Latinas have not given up what our culture used to be too. All minority cultures used to put pride in the man raising the children, no matter how many women he had the children from. They didn't want a temporary man with nothing. All right. That did not have a father say in the household. That wasn't like, all right, if I tell your father, and that was enough to get that child to shape up because that father had that kind of authority. No, the black woman didn't need no man, didn't want no man. They wanted to be all by themselves. So let them be all by themselves. But the thing that they're not picking up on is the Afro man, the woman said 70s, 80s, and 90s always had options. It's just that we always chose the thing that was next to us because that's the only place we wanted to be. We were happy in the hood until the black woman ruined it with all the baby children. And then when we saw the hood was just too dangerous for people that had a mind and wanted to do something different than being gun battles, we left. All my friends that I grew up with are dead. When I was homeless in the street, I was running with gangs. I was never in the gang. I never sold or did drugs, but I was familiar with what was going on in the streets. I was familiar with a lot of stuff that I seen with my own eyes. There was a woman in Houston I used to like, and she taught. I mean, that's how I learned what Skittles were. I all the time before her, I thought there was the bright color rainbow fruit of flavor. I didn't know there was all the different kind of Skittles. I learned that from a black woman that I had a crush on. Well, kind of like. And dudes was like, yeah, she a good woman because she working. And I was like, no, she chooses thugs. Her sister had 8 children by the time she was 23 from a bunch of different thugs. I was like, no, I don't want to be mixed up in all of that. There was another woman that came into the picture from Mississippi, dark woman, very attracted to in Houston. And then everybody turned on her once they found out we was in a relationship together. And they broke that up because they wanted me with the other woman with 3 children. This other woman got heavily in the game, became one of the dudes, the one I used to like, the one I was in a relationship with. You see what I'm saying? So now I'm in Brazil. You want to get mad? Like I said, when I had the real, and she was dark and she was fine and I cared about her. But nope, she wanted the thug style. She wanted the drug style. Now she got that and some jail time. And the black women want to be mad at brothers, want to be jealous of brothers, want to be jealous of the Latinas, and they think it's because of color. Nope, it's because of availability. They're available to us emotionally, spiritually, with love. They don't see a problem with a man needing to have sex. All right. And when they come to us being bringing that sultriness, bringing that sexiness. They got problems of their own. Don't get it twisted. But femininity is not one of their problems. The lack of femininity is not one of the problems that they have. And that's why they keep beating the black woman out. And that's why they will always continue to beat the black woman out. All right. But I wanted to make this clear after I saw that thing. They're jealous, but at no point do they examine themselves. Why? Because these black women refuse to repent. And so long as they refuse to repent, well, these women, they're going to hit the wall. They're done. It's up to the younger ones to repent from what they see their moms doing. Because if they want any flavor, they better start to get some act right real quick. All right. So with that said, I'm out. So let me go look at my board and see who popped in. All right, what's up? Because I know everybody should be getting up now. What's up, King Groom, NGA, David Bowman, Terminator, Mechadon. Hey, beautiful. And now, I was going to say this. Now I see Mechadon. You know, when Mechadon first came on here, she showed her face. A lot of dudes had, if she didn't have a man, would want her because of her home bringing. Understand this. All right. A lot of us would have mistaken her from a black U.S. woman till we got to know her and found out, well, she's from the islands. Think about that though. But we didn't care because we thought she was beautiful. Think about that. And then we admired how she ran the house and the man is in charge. Think about that. See, people think that's when we thought she was a quote unquote black American. Come to find out, she is an island Afro person. See, so it isn't about the color. It isn't about how they identify. It's about how you act. And these black women don't get it. All right. Greg Mahone, Afro True. All right. So I'll holler at y'all later. I'm gonna be up with one more after this. Peace, love, and soul. Oh, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. When you subscribe, click the notification bell. And if you want to donate to my channel for what this channel does in the community, My PayPal me link is be in the description box. If you want to know what I do in the community, all you got to do is type in Reluctant Navi Neo and just put favela, Favela, in the search and look at those videos, and you'll get an idea of what me and those that help me on my channel do. All right. This is where almost every last one of the proceeds from the donation goes. It is where it goes. All right. So with that said, I'm out. All right. Peace, y'all.